Alright, so I'm going to do this over. The first video, I guess, had no audio. I don't know what happened. I may have not have just made sure that my microphone was turned on whenever I did it. I sat there and probably spoke for no reason. But we'll do this again. But basically, I'm going to be using the Bun Banneret rewards, the Pet and Guest, to go back in and defeat it. To me, this is the easiest way to go. Especially if you're a beast build. This method will it's pretty easy. Like maybe you need to go back in and get some more rewards for your alternate characters, stuff like that. So now would be the time to do that, or buy the painting and you can revisit it later. But basically, I'm going to be using just a small handful of items. The main item is going to be one of the Bards of War. It doesn't matter which one. I'm running with the energy one currently. These are the rewards for the actual Void Boss. I'm going to be dodge lashing here. Other items I'm going to use, I might use Necromancer for some potency, maybe some heals. And then I'm going to be using Nemesis for the additional dodge lash damage. It will depend on how the battle goes, but for the most part, I'll be using this guy. I'll be using the Havarti blade. Some people refer to it as the cheese blade. I'm going to be trying to stack celerity turns if I can. So it's got a 50% rate to proc Pet and Guest celerity. I am attempting to build additional turns of celerity so I can swap armors with it. Basically what I'll do is just make sure I get win initiative, so I have an initiative armor, and then I'll come back over. And then basically what you're going to be doing here is dodge lashing, and then I'll be using Bag of Nuts for the stun. You can use Pearl of Power. Anything that stuns, you might want to try and use freeze-like stuff. Maybe carry multiple attempts. If you have different quick casts, maybe control, like a love potion. Maybe you have a stun effect built into an armor, so you can get some compression there just to be safe. But Bag of Nuts works pretty well, especially whenever it loses freedom. It has -30, basically like a stun weakness. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, if I'm able to get the cheese blade to proc and these guys both proc at the same time, it'll allow me to swap to Nemesis for the additional dodge lash. But I'll just demonstrate how pretty simple this ends up becoming. So already off the bat, so I've got one sit in my back pocket. So I'm gonna go ahead and swap to Nemesis already. Hopefully I'll get it to proc again, and then it didn't, so it'll just be for a turn, but I'll get the additional damage from Nemesis here. Switch back to Bard, and I just do this until it goes into the mode where it's basically asking to be stunned, which is now. Swap to Necromancer for the 7.5 potency, and then break out Bag of Nuts. It should work, and because it has that -30 immobility weakness. And then this round you can kind of do whatever you want. It just sort of depends on what you want to do. But what I'm noticed here is I need to make sure I have enough SP for the next stun phase. So what I'm going to do actually is just go ahead and fill up my SP, swap back to Bard of War, and then I'm going to use Chrono Paladin Misk. So it's not going to attack right here. I just wanted to try to get the cheese blade to proc, but it did not. And then it's just basically like rinse and repeat. So it procced that time. Get some dodge heal with my misc. As you can see, I have the guest and pet celerity in my back pocket. Excuse me. And so, hop back over to Nemesis. Get the extra dodge lash. And then it's just repeat. Back over here. Hopefully I can get the cheese blade to proc, which I did. So now I can come back over to Nemesis just to double check. I could go Summoning Stone, but I'm gonna do the Hourglass just so I can dodge heal here. Got it to proc again, so I'm going to go ahead and stay. Let's go ahead and do this. Change to get a little bit of extra dodge lash damage. The cheese blade didn't proc again. So now it's time to swap back to Bard. Here shortly I'll run out of MP, but that'll be fine. So I got cheese blade to proc that time. So we're going to actually use a Necromancer twice now because my MP is starting to get a little bit low. Bolt it to the ground. This will be basically a free turn. I'm going to go ahead and heal back some MP. I had my saved cheese blade, but it didn't matter. And then now it's time to go back to Bard of War. And Bunnies will go into this mode where he's trying to kind of take me down a little bit. It's going to go twice. So a little bit low on SP. Again, this is just kind of a cycle. Just come back with Hourglass Misc. So again, at this point, it's going to go into a mode where it's going to really attack. And then you just dodge lash it. It never hit me. You can use this misc to excuse me, dodge heal. And then, like I said, you just kind of go back and forth. Necromancer, Nemesis to get the extra dodge lash damage. And there you have it. Super simple.